When I say the word introvert, what image pops into your head? Probably someone who's quiet, maybe a little shy, always has their nose in a book, right? Well, what if I told you that stereotype is not even close to the whole story? Today, we're going to tear that old definition apart and look at what it really means to be an introvert.
Seriously, what if introvert isn't just one thing? What if it's actually four completely different ways of being in the world? Getting this doesn't just change the meaning of a word. It might just change the way you see yourself or someone you love.
And just look at the numbers. We're talking about a huge slice of the population, anywhere from 30 to 50%. That could be half the people you know. You can't just slap a single label like shy on a group that massive. No way. There's got to be more to it.
And there is. Researchers figured out that introversion isn't this one-size-fits-all thing. It's actually a spectrum with four very distinct types. Each one has its own unique way of operating. And today, we're diving into all four.
Okay, first up, let's talk about type 1, the social introvert. I know, the name sounds like a total contradiction, right? Like jumbo shrimp or friendly fire. But hang with me here, because this might just be the most misunderstood one of the bunch.
So here's the key. A social introvert doesn't actually hate parties. In fact, they can genuinely love being around people. The real difference is their social battery. Instead of slowly draining down, it hits an invisible wall and just plummets.
We all know this person. They're the life of the party, right? Super funny, super engaging. You would never ever guess they're an introvert. But then, like clockwork, it's 10 p.m. and poof, they've vanished. They didn't get rude, their battery just slammed into zero, and now they need a solid day of alone time just to feel human again.
The absolute best way to think about it is like your phone. You know how it doesn't give you a nice, slow countdown? It just goes from 1% to a black screen. It's just dead. That's a social introvert at a party. 1 minute, they're at 100%. The next, 0. Game over. All right, so that's the social introvert. Now for our second type, the whole energy thing is different. Let's meet the thinking introvert. This is that person who's always physically in the room, but you kind of get the feeling their mind is off exploring another galaxy. Thinking introverts have this incredibly rich, busy, complex world going on inside their own head. So they're not being rude or spacing out on you. Their mind is just working overtime. They're constantly analyzing everything, connecting ideas, and exploring deep thoughts. This browser analogy is just perfect. I mean, imagine trying to have a simple conversation while you've got 47 tabs open in your brain. That's exactly why a thinking introvert might pause for a really long time before they answer you. They're not slow, they're just sorting through an insane amount of data to give you a really thoughtful answer. And that is the absolute key here. Their silence isn't boredom. It isn't a lack of interest. It's the sound of deep, deep processing. And when they finally do share what they're thinking, you realize, whoa, they've been exploring this on a level most of us didn't even know existed. Now we get to type 3, the anxious introvert. And this is where things can feel a bit heavier. It's also the type that gets confused with simple shyness or even a more serious health issue all the time. For anxious introverts, being alone isn't just for recharging, it's a relief. It's because being around other people feels like a high-stakes performance. So after any social interaction, even one that went perfectly fine, their brain gets stuck in this replay loop, just picking apart everything they said and did, looking for mistakes. And this part is incredibly important, so listen up. There is a huge difference here. Being an anxious introvert is a personality trait, but if social stuff causes intense physical reactions, like a pounding heart or shaking, or if it makes you avoid things you need to do, like going to work, well, that's crossing over into social anxiety disorder, which is a health condition. Knowing that difference is crucial, and it's a sign that it might be time to talk to a professional. All right, we've gone through 3 pretty different types, but I saved the last one on purpose because this one is the single most common type of introvert out there, and it's the one most people, including a ton of introverts, have never even heard of.
And here it is, type 4, the restrained introvert. This one isn't about a social battery or a busy mind. This one is all about something else entirely. Pace. You can think of restrained introverts as people who just need a little warm-up time. They don't just dive into the deep end. They need a moment to check the temperature, to get used to the idea, to prepare themselves before they engage. A heads up is their best friend. So it's not that your friend Sarah doesn't want to go to the thing. She really does.
But that last-minute invitation feels like being shoved into an ice-cold pool. It's a shock to the system. But if you give her a few days' notice, she can mentally prepare and she'll show up ready to have a great time.
And let's be real, we live in a world that praises spontaneity. So this need to prepare can feel like a weakness, but it's not. It's not a flaw. It's just a different operating system. A restrained introvert's need for a little time and prep isn't a problem that needs to be fixed. It's just how they're wired.
So let's pull all this together. We've just walked through 4 totally different ways of being, all hiding under that one big umbrella word, introvert. So let's do a super quick review. You've got the social introvert, whose phone battery just dies, the thinking introvert with the 47 browser tabs open, the anxious introvert who can't turn off the mental replay machine, and the restrained introvert who just needs a little heads up. You might hear one of those and think, oh my gosh, that's me. Or maybe you feel like you're a mix of 2 or 3. And look, the goal here isn't to find a new label to stick on your forehead. It's the exact opposite. It's about self-awareness. It's about giving yourself permission. Permission to leave the party early. Permission to take your time before answering a question. Permission to say no to that last-minute plan without feeling guilty for a second. It's about finally having the language to understand your own needs. So now, the question is all yours. After hearing about these 4 hidden types, which one are you? Because figuring out your own internal wiring doesn't just change how you see yourself. It gives you the blueprint to finally build a life that actually truly works for you.